A strong, active community contributes to the health of any project, and especially an open source project. More people using your project means more bugs found, more user feedback, more content made, like videos, blog posts, guides, and tutorials. More word-of-mouth advertising, social media posts, and personal recommendations. More people using your project also means more potential contributors to fix those bugs, apply that feedback, build those new requested features, and make sure your project both is and appears actively maintained. If you want to grow the number of people who actively and happily use your project, help others discover, learn about, and use your project, build tools to extend and enhance your project, and contribute to the ongoing development and maintenance of your project, you need a community. And you may already have an untapped resource, your docs. I'm the docs lead at Astro, where I maintain a large, active, open source documentation project with over 1,000 community contributors. Today, I'll share with you why and how to use docs to build and grow your community. So why use docs to build your community? The barrier to contributing is low. These contributions typically don't involve adding tests or reproductions. They can often be made through a web UI and don't require forking or cloning your project. And it's easier to help someone through the process of contributing. Tasks like editing a README file are great practice making GitHub PRs. The cost of failure is low. Docs failures typically don't break the build, and reverting a mistake introduced to your docs may not require another release of your project. With these shorter feedback loops, you can be more forgiving with and take more chances on contributors. You can help them learn your contributing process and culture before they need to learn your code conventions and culture. And they can immediately see and show off what they contributed to your project in the form of content that will reach and help your entire community. Docs is the place that is easiest to onboard with the lowest hanging fruit. Have great docs already? Perfect! You're probably already set up for contributors to jump into an established workflow. Have not so great docs, non-existent docs? Perfect! The bar is low. There is zero risk, only huge, immediate benefits. Contrary to popular belief, docs aren't low-quality contributions at all, and they are so valuable when building community is your goal. A bug fix helps your current users. A docs fix can help you get new users, and that's because your documentation serves so many purposes, even and especially for people who haven't yet used or interacted with your project. Docs are your self-serve, education and awareness, support and reference, marketing and promotion, new user onboarding. Good docs work so that you and your maintainers don't have to, at least not 24/7. Better docs help other people use and promote your project, entice their friends, and convince their stakeholders. Sounds great. How do we get started getting contributions? There are probably already people in your community helping, answering questions in support forums, writing blogs, making videos. These are people who know your project well enough to teach and help others. And these are the people who might be helping because there is something missing or unclear in your docs. They are the ones that know this. Identify them. When you notice them in action, reach out. Acknowledge their knowledge and their willingness to share it. Acknowledge their identity as a helper, because helpers are potential docs contributors. I know this might come as a surprise, but contributing to docs isn't always top of everyone's mind. People often don't connect answering an individual's question in a live chat situation or stream to providing asynchronous, general purpose, official documentation. You can help them connect those dots. Create a process where they can get involved directly improving your documentation, even if they don't write you more docs, or even if they don't think of themselves as a docs person. When you see support conversations, ask whether there's anything missing from docs that could have helped here or prevented this conversation entirely. This is valuable, helpful user feedback, and knowing what needs improvement, what people are literally asking about right now, is the first step to a contribution that improves your docs. If they identify a problem or omission, ask whether they, or the person who just learned something new, would like to help fix it. People want to help, but they do need to feel comfortable, and they might need an invitation. At Astro, we encourage filing issues on the docs repo as a low-friction way to get people involved by simply capturing possible areas of docs improvements. Then, it can be the same person or someone else entirely who picks up the task and runs with it. Maybe enthusiastic, aspiring, open source contributors always on the lookout for good first issues. Okay, do you want to know how to really get a full inbox of contributions? Because no one reads your docs more closely than translators. They spot errors and unclear passages because they have to understand exactly what it means in order to convey it in their language. Astro's docs are an order of magnitude more accurate, more polished, and more accessible because our translators have pointed out clunky passages, vague explanations, or cultural references that don't work in their language. And there's a pretty good chance that means it wasn't really working in the original English either. So we fix it. They fix it. Having translated documentation opens your project to a wider audience. You can welcome more people into the fold and support them with resources in their own language. This improves everyone's experience and helps create a more inclusive global community. And it drastically increases the number of people who can and will get involved, stick around, and contribute. More docs contributions makes it easier to get more code contributions. Your existing docs contributors already know your project and how to contribute. You just need to onboard them to your code. And other potential code contributors will see, through the efforts and activities of your docs contributors, an active, healthy project with a culture of accepting community contributions. They'll see a project that is worth their time contributing to, in part because a culture of documentation demonstrates that you care about people being able to use your project. No one wants to spend their time building you a feature that no one knows about and no one knows how to use. When you have Docs contributors who know your project and know how to contribute, it probably won't be long until you have good contributor docs that onboard the next generation. You can build yourself a little self-sustaining contributor generating factory. And soon, your contributors themselves will be handling the new contributor onboarding with the necessary experience, resources, and support to grow your community even more. Now that we're all on board that Docs contributions are the way to build community, here are a few practical tips. Don't assume that people know how to contribute to you or to GitHub. Many experienced developers have never made a PR on GitHub or a contribution to open source. They don't know the interface for reviews and suggestions, and they don't know that LGTM means let's get that money. Make issues yourself instead of jumping to make small fixes. Many potential contributors are looking for small or easy contributions they can make to get started. Even your regular or occasional contributors often appreciate something small they can do with just a little spare time. The best way to have good first issue tasks they can take is to intentionally leave some fixes for them. I'll even create issues with the exact change I want, asking, will someone add this one line right here? These issues are so popular. People know what help is needed and they know what to do. They can make PRs that are quickly approved, and it's easy for me to welcome them to Team Docs. What might have been just one more annoying little thing on my plate becomes instead a contribution that can make someone else feel valued and appreciated, doing real project work. I was gonna do it anyway. Every single one of these interactions makes someone just that little bit more invested in your project and entrenched in your community. Turn complaints into contributors. You would be surprised how quickly an invitation to participate can turn someone from angry to enthusiastic. Negative feedback is always a little hard to take, and it's not always given gently or tactfully. But much of the time, a response like, "Thanks for bringing that up. Would you like to submit an issue to the Docs repo so we can track that?" turn someone into my new best Docs friend. When they realize that these are their Docs too, and that they have agency, there's a problem with these docs becomes there's a problem with these docs that I can help fix. Nerd sniping is real, and it's not just for code. And be loud about it. Advertise that you're actively looking for contributors. People won't know if you don't tell them. Hold special events or participate in established activities like Hacktoberfest. Make announcements on social media and your community forums, reminding people of the opportunities to contribute, and remind them of all the different ways they can contribute. There's more to docs than writing. There's translating, reviewing, proofreading, testing, fact-checking, researching, filing issues, leaving feedback, soliciting feedback, participating in discussions. Make sure your community knows what they can do that is helpful to you, even if it's only one small step in a larger process. And then recognize their effort and celebrate their achievement. People who feel valued, appreciated, and seen will keep coming back for more. Publicly acknowledging the contributors you do have advertises the opportunity to contribute and lets potential contributors know they will be welcomed. And do this for all contributions to your project. not just code. When it comes to open source, good docs is that one weird growth hack and that secret family recipe all rolled into one. An investment in your documentation is an investment in your project, your community, and its future. Plan for success. Plan for docs contributors. Thanks for spending time with me. Let's keep it going in the chat while we watch the rest of these amazing VConf speakers.